Hey guys, today's review is going to be Paranormal Activity 3. So after I saw the film, I went on Rotten Tomatoes to see what kind of rating it was getting. And in the consensus section, I saw something to describe the series pretty well, that the viewer is subject to diminishing returns. Paranormal Activity 3, while it is considered third in the series, is actually a prequel. The film presents a series of footage from Katie and Christy's childhood that shows the paranormal events that occurred to them while they were children. So what I find to be the biggest weakness for the Paranormal Activity series is that these films are very formulaic. So by the time you're watching the third film, you basically have an idea of how the film will play out. However, this predictability is somewhat helped by some of the innovations that the director uses in this film. The biggest change being allowing one of the cameras to move from side to side in the night footages. The director did a pretty good job creating dread by having the camera catch a glimpse of something wrong, then having the camera shift away from it. There's also a terrific scene where one of the characters is dreadfully walking around a very creepy house looking for his family. And speaking of the camera work, I suffered pretty bad motion sickness from the first two films. And if you're one of those people that suffer from motion sickness, luckily the camera work in this film is steady enough to be able to watch it without getting nauseous. Another thing that I find to be critical in horror films is the acting. I feel that it's pretty difficult for the viewer to feel terror when the acting is not believable. The performances of these actors are very believable, and thus preserving the old family video style of the film. I was especially impressed by the acting performances of the two young girls that portrayed the young Katie and Christy. My biggest issue with Paranormal Activity 3 has to do more with the scope of the entire series. In both films, you hear the sisters talk about them experiencing these events when they were children. Considering the events that occur in this film, I feel that it's not something you just set aside and move on and casually mention at a later point. I feel that this film's plot, being that it's a prequel, makes the chronology of the entire series to be non-realistic, which is a serious detriment to the series considering it strives for its found footage type of realism. On top of that, many people are mentioning about how messed up the ending for this film is. I found the ending to be the weakest point of the film with a very silly and laughable plot twist. So overall, I found the film to be pretty predictable and boring. While it created some great scenes of tension and dread, the ending and the plot made the film to be the weakest in the trilogy. And thus I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. As for trailers of the show, I'm giving the best trailer to The Devil Inside and the worst trailer to Tower Heist. While I'm generally fatigued with exorcism films, the way the trailer used both silence and noise to create an unsettling, creepy, disturbing trailer grabbed my attention. I also like the fact that they were doing something different in that the possessed woman is suffering from multiple possession, which makes other people vulnerable to possession as well. Meanwhile, Tower Heist is actually a trailer that I saw when I went to see The Thing as well. I find the plot of the film to be rather silly looking, and on top of that, I quite dislike Ben Stiller in it, Eddie Murphy. Links to the trailers will be in the description. And thank you for watching my review of Paranormal Activity 3. Let me know what you think of the film or any of the other films in the series. And please subscribe, and thank you for watching.